Hey, what's up everybody? Today I am reviewing the camera on the DJI Phantom 3 Professional. You already know the basics about the camera. It does 4K video, it has a 94 angle field of view, it has an f2.8 aperture, and the coolest thing about it is the footage is just silky smooth. Let me shoot you over to this footage that I took of some real estate photography this last week. And this is totally unedited. This is just straight out of the camera. Look how smooth it is. I mean, it's just buttery smooth, and I wasn't even doing a very good job of flying it. This is the video that I made for the client, mixing in some stills. But I mean, to get this kind of view for real estate photography, and it only costs $1,200, I mean, that's pretty darn cool. It's awesome what it is, what it's accomplishing. But I guess my problem with the DJI Phantom 3's camera isn't so much with the video. The video's fine. It's with the photos, which kind of makes sense because I'm a lot more picky about the photos. I'm mostly a still photographer. So let's take a look at some of those. So this photo I did of a family's house, and you know, here we are, we're at this elevated perspective. Everything looks pretty decent. Honestly, straight out of the camera, I wouldn't get anything much different than this from a DSLR. But then on a DSLR, I'm just going to be able to bring down the highlights. See, they're not clipped up here on the top right. You can see I haven't clipped my highlights. The detail's there. I've just got to bring it down, no problem, right? So let's go over to a Lightroom preset, and you'll see the problem. Yikes! It's a disaster! I hope you can see that in the video. Just as I zoom in, the image quality is just sandpaper. I mean, it's just really, really, really not good. And the best I could do editing it, kind of get it the best that I could, is that. And the image quality is just not there. It looks awful. Now, for an MLS photo, you know, it's just being sold, selling the photo. It's rarely shown above 1,000 pixels anyway, depending on how your MLS is in your region. And most of the photos we share on Facebook and stuff, it's 1,000 pixels. And sized at 1,000 pixels, meh, it's not as bad, but it's still bad. I mean, it's about the quality of a cell phone, what you'd get from it. So let's look at another photo. Here's this one that, again, this is similar to what I'm going to get from a DSLR. I'm going to need to grade it and make it look good. So I do that. And this one actually turned out fair. This is one of my favorites that I got from the Phantom, but you can still see the image quality is just really suffering. I mean, look at all those hot pixels just everywhere in the photo. And that's not what we want to see, especially when we're at ISO 100. It really just shouldn't be that. And so I've done several things to try and fix this. The first thing is shoot in auto on the DJI Phantom. My first shoot with it, I was shooting at ISO 800, you know, which is, you know, on a DSLR, 800 is just about as clean as 100 these days. But on the Phantom, not at all. It wants a very low ISO. But I found that you can drop the shutter speed quite a bit lower than I expected for something flying in the air and vibrating. And so I would suggest shoot in auto with the Phantom, and then on your controller, you'll be able to just control the exposure. If I can get this out of the backpack, with this scrolly wheel right here. So this scrolly wheel will change your exposure. So I recommend shoot on auto and use this exposure adjustment right here to change that. I did get better results shooting on auto and using the exposure changing rather than taking full manual control over the camera. Now you can shoot in RAW. It does take a DNG RAW, and that's definitely better. You get some latitude, but you're only getting, 15% more latitude. It's not at all like the latitude of a DSLR. So I don't know. Am I being too hard on the DJI Phantom camera? Maybe. I mean, if you recognize for what it is and compare it to other similar cameras, it's an amazing, amazing device. But if you're a serious photographer, if you want to use this to take amazing still images, I'm going to say this probably isn't the quadcopter for you. DJI does make the Inspire 1, and it did have some problems right out of the gate, but now version 2 is out, and it seems to be a lot more reliable. I'm very interested in testing it out because it has a micro four thirds sensor. And the X5 just looks really, really good from what I've seen. And so I'm torn on the Phantom. I don't know if I should keep the Phantom for another year or so and wait for the technology to kind of settle, or if I should spring for the $3,000 Inspire One so that I can get more serious photography work done with it. So those are kind of my thoughts. Comment below and let me know what you think of the camera on the DJI Phantom 3, and we'll see ya.